Hello, welcome back to Modern Daze. We're on episode 27 now, and we've got a full table. Woohoo! This week's question for our players is: what is your character's lowest stat, and how is it represented in your character? Because it's his birthday, I'm going to pick on him first. Tom.
Hi, I'm Tom. I play Raphy Matthews. Raphy's lowest stat is actually his strength. He's got like a flat 10. But it's more represented in his actions because he's quite dexterous. He does lots of, obviously, the martial arts, rock climbing and so on. So his physique is more along the lines of a rock climber. That's about it. It doesn't really affect him in everyday life as such because it's just a flat 0.
Yeah, I don't think anybody has any minuses on their character because we did an epic standard array. Or no,
Yeah.
epic array, not standard array. It's the standard part of it, doesn't it? But yeah, that's awesome. Can imagine Raphy being quite a wiry guy. Let's go, Kyle.
I'm Kyle. I play Kevin, Paladin. Kevin's biggest weakness, well, it's not particularly weak, to be honest, is his dexterity. He's just not built for the finer things of today's technology, like phones and computers.
He's just a big block of rock.
Yeah. I mean, he's not undexterous, he's just
average.
Just leaves it alone, to be honest. It's easier.
I like to think of Cadman with a mobile phone just breaking the screen with every press.
He probably had an old Nokia and snapped it in half.
Wow, that's a feat.
Just, not even the flip phone one.
Yeah. Oh my god. Let's go, Ben.
Hi, I'm Ben. I play Hendrix, who's a talking cat, apparently. It's been so long since I played it, I had to ask the other players.
He's a dog, you numpty.
I know, yes. Okay, so Hendrix's lowest stat is charisma, typical dump stat. And it's not that he isn't a good dog, it's just that stopping mid-sentence to lick your balls and eating your own vomit can be looked down on in polite society.
Oh, no.
There we go.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, I'd like to lower the tone at the start of the evening.
Yeah. Really helps.
Yeah, let's just go.
All right, let's go. Ken.
Same again. Definitely not a dumpster. Charisma, honest to God. But there's no negative, and all I say is you really have to ask how it's represented in his character. Quite obvious. His miserable fuck pisses everybody off.
No arguments there.
How low is his charisma?
10.
Okay.
10. Yeah, nobody's got any negatives because we did the hero array.
Yeah, but you can take that down.
Can you?
Yeah.
Can't you?
Only relate a low point by.
Okay.
Yeah, but we did an array.
Oh,
so.
okay, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, go on, Andy. You next.
Sorry, I'm Baron, the other paladin. Right, Baron's lowest attribute is actually his intelligence, which it's sort of reflected by his memory issues. I mean, he's got 1, 2, 3 intelligence-based skills as actually proficient skills, but he has no stat bonus in them because his memory is shit. And so his intelligence, average intelligence, is more displayed by his lack of memory, I suppose, in the game.
And Ian.
Hi, I'm Ian. I play Daryl, the blaze singer. Much like Raphy, Daryl's lowest stat is his strength. I mean, he's brought up in the Elven courts where it's all about grace, elegance, and nimbleness. So he never really develops any need to sort of pump on or do anything in the way of improving his strength. It sort of gets represented, much like Raphy. It's not really that obvious, but when there's heavy lifting to do, he'll be the one standing behind Beren and Cadman.
Yeah. Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much. Previously on Modern Days, our heroes question mark no had made their way over to a Hellgate Highgate
Highgate
Hellspawn.
Hellspawn.
Hell high.
I,
Gate
I hate
spawn.
myself.
You might
for
as well
making
just
this
go
a
with
name.
it.
I know. Hideout. Adding another H in there. To follow rumours of fiend troubles happening within London. There you found a scene where some gangsters had a fight. Some were left dead, primarily the FOA members. There were a couple of booby traps, a couple of different magical effects happening at the time. You found some illusionary script hidden in some graffiti on the wall. A message, it seems, to other members of the Highgate Hellspawns, telling them that they had Tay, so they needed her for some reason, and to return to base. To which there was a single-use glyph of either symbol or glyph of water. I can't remember which one they used. To use a teleport to the hideout. Our heroes had gone to the hideout, immediately combat, and had come away with no casualties per se. Obviously, some damage done, but nobody had died. Plenty of the other side had. There was some had been given a little bit of leeway by Cadman and told to flee and find a better way of life. Whether they did or not, who's to say? Liam had found down in the basement a circle leading to another plane of existence. One not so friendly, probably hell-based, if I'm honest, from the look of it, and quickly departed when there were sounds of people arriving via teleport upstairs. That's when our players had decided to
Is it a nice
actively
break
use a
circle?
scene. Yes, you did. But they'd found another way to, and it
Oh yeah,
delayed them by
they
several
arrived
rounds. Yeah,
upstairs, didn't they? Yeah, they came in the
that
front
was it.
door.
Yeah. Once they realised that the circle had been tampered with, there was something seriously wrong. It delayed them by several rounds, which honestly saved your hides. And you headed off into London, regrouping again at Antonio's. There you spoke with the Hellspawn's captain, Simon, who had been carried along by Cadman. He had explained, you also had Tay with you at this point. He had explained that they were it was discovered that both sides of this gang war seemed to not be the perpetrators in the events going on. They were being manipulated by a third party. One of those members of this third party appears to be, or at least the demon inhabiting, young Ozzy, who has been seen on a ring camera entering the building of one of the lieutenants of the Hellspawns and killing everybody inside. That is where we left our last session. You were all sat at a table at Antonio's, and there's Tay there. there's Simon there, and you all are still there. A couple of you have had a few conversations here and there, but it is about 3:30. What do you wish to do?
Did I ever get a response to my message to my old friend? There was something about
Yes.
meeting up, wasn't there?
You had gone to the side and asked him when and where to meet him, sort of a little bit more urgently. He'd already messaged you before and said, I think at the weekend, and
That
you
was it, yeah.
expedited that and said, can it be sooner? And he said within the hour. So you know that within an hour, just to remind people of a few things. Daryl had spoken with Spence. Within an hour, you will be able to collect some scrolls from the Mage Council London Embassy, which is the place where you came out at. Baron, you had had messages and conversations with John Shepherdson, and were going to meet him within the hour. Mercy Ashcroft also wanted an audience with you. You don't know whether it's just for you or perhaps your group as well, but to discuss the events surrounding Councillor Lilith Knight's death.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, if possible, tomorrow.
And I was also trying to set up a meeting with an arms dealer contact of mine.
Webby, which is also at the weekend at some point.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
you're on a Thursday right now. So
Okay.
you've got in order of events. Yeah.
Okay.
Cadman, you had some information about you wanted to try and contact the Circle Spirit. And your group would be the best people to do it, but you need to reach out to them to see if you can do that. You know that there is a place for you to talk to them nearby-ish. Lysandra can tell you a little bit more about that. Liam, I believe it was just you were sitting with these lot at the moment, but
Yeah.
in tech talks outside, you wanted to go shopping, is that right? With the bits, the information that you'd sent me, or is that for another time?
That was what I thought that he would have.
Okay.
But
I thought perhaps it was. You don't have to. It was just a misunderstanding from my end.
No. I'd done a hunter's mark on Dodgy Simon.
Oh, yes.
And I was just waiting to see what people did, what went down, where people go. Because I haven't got anything to do that can happen in an hour.
Okay. Raphy, I believe you wanted to reach out to Jacob.
Yep.
Um,
Apart from that, it's just going to be a case of I need to chase down Ozzy. I think the best bet for that is actually to go and speak to the goblins. I can't remember the name of that gang. Hendrix, what's the name of that gang again? Your friends?
Scarsridge.
Yes, Scarsridge
Scar-
crew.
Scarsridge. Yeah. So I think I want to go and meet them with Hendrix doing the introductions.
Okay. Obviously, you've all spoken. Just to give you, obviously, making sure people don't forget. I think Daryl, correct me if I'm wrong. You mentioned the scrying scroll specifically for the purposes of scrying on certain NPCs to find out where they are.
Yep.
Obviously, that's also linked. And Hendrix, can you make me a perception check? And you need over 12.
Just can I clarify one
So
thing
it's-
while he's doing that dice roll?
Sure.
The Mercy Ashcroft wanting to talk to me, at least, maybe others, tomorrow. Was that something that I've communicated, or is that still to be communicated?
I don't think you have communicated.
Okay.
Jesus, I don't think you could have actually failed that perception check.
No.
I should have just gone off with your passive, actually. That would have made more sense.
Okay.
Because you weren't here, and I feel it's important, and your character would take notice potentially. When Raphy and Tay are talking to the rest of the group about Ozzy, Ozzy's name is revealed to be Oliver Shackleton.
Oh.
Okay. So
Okay.
let's start off with you're all at the table and talk amongst about what you're planning to do.
We'd gone round and round in circles last time, hadn't we? We'd kind of had some ideas of what we were going to do first, and
So is
Yep.
the
are we waiting for the scrolls to come in so that we can do the next step to ascertain what we want to do? I thought maybe not.
Yeah, that
You know
that
that
was to
the
try and
scrolls-
find Ozzy. That's what the scrolls were for, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think.
I think that's right, yeah. And sorry,
We decided that we were going to concentrate on finding Ozzy first. Then
Yeah, because that was the quickest link that we've got access to.
the only kind of link that we've got.
Yeah.
are we
Because that's right. We know there's a third party involved, but we don't.
Yeah.
We have no information on who that is. So we've got to try to. We are running blind until we get that information. And Ozzy was the go-to for getting that information. And that's why we got the scrolls coming, and that's why we're doing. Yeah. Okay.
I was also going to call my friend Jacob Detweiler, so we can get this chucklefuck, pointing at the guy that we were having the Barney with.
Hey,
Over, yeah, dude, come on. We're going to uphold our end of the bargain and get him over to the States, as long as everything pans out.
Are we?
so is he
Yeah.
is he still sat at a table with us, or is he off to one side, or what?
no, he sat at the table with you.
Okay,
I
so
don't
I'm
remember
not.
having no bargain about getting him to the States. I thought he was going to just be careful and not get back involved with demons.
He wouldn't speak about any of that if he was still in the country. We had
The
to
deal
make the deal
was
to get him.
you take me to the States. I tell you what the whole thing with Ozzy was. I showed you what the whole thing with Ozzy was.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I just
Okay.
need to wait to hear back from Jacob.
Okay, how are you contacting Jake? You just texting?
No, I'm just going to give him a bell. I've got his number, unless he's changed it.
All right.
Take a step outside.
Okay. You take a step outside. It rings for a little while. You know that's usual.
Yeah.
And then a familiar voice on the other end of the phone replies, Bembe, Raphy, how are you doing?
I'm pretty good. Pretty good. By the way, I owe you. Yeah?
For what?
That last prank you pulled on me.
Ah, you found it then.
Yeah. Yes, I found it. Thank you very much.
I thought I hit that one really good. How can I
You
help
told
you?
me-
Is this about Jahan?
No. I need a favor.
Oh,
Yeah. So there's some stuff happening over here, and the only way that we could get some information that we needed was to promise we'd get someone over to the States quietly.
Okay. You need someone transporting?
Yeah, basically. Although I didn't say whereabouts in the States he would be. I didn't say what state he would be when he got to the States.
Ah, you're a tricky man.
Just so we need to be able to find him. So somewhere,
I can. Nope.
yeah.
Yes.
Pen's gone.
Ah.
Okay. We can. I can only do this twice a day, so I will.
Yep.
I'm going to. Where are you?
Still in London.
At your flat?
Not far, but I can. Do you know Antonio's?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Is
Does he know
it free
Antonio's?
cancellation?
Yeah.
Ken, we can still hear you, buddy.
Yeah.
I just realised that.
No, I don't know.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's meet it. Let's meet at my flat.
I go to City Capoeira. I could be there in 10 minutes.
Give us half an hour.
Okay.
Okay.
I can only do this. I don't really want to go all the way to America, so I can stay at yours. Of course, I can stay at yours. Yes. I will be there in 30
Yes.
minutes.
Yes, you can stay at mine.
He's already hung up.
Right, I'm going to. I know what I'm going to do. I am going to give. Sugar, what's her name? Hold up, you sod.
Renee?
Renee, that's the one. Yeah, I want to give Renee a bell. Tell him tell her to make up if she can make up the guest bed, and then go into the prank cupboard and get the itching powder.
For real.
For real,
You're telling
yeah,
me you have a prank cupboard.
I have a prank cupboard.
Perfect.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah, she doesn't. This is not news to her. In fact, she knows immediately who you're talking about, and she's like, "Oh, Jacob's coming around, is he?" And then the guest bed is just a futon on the
Yes.
floor. Cool. Yeah, she'll happily do that for you. Any word about Ozzy?
We've got a couple of things in the pipeline. Hopefully, we'll be able to get something sorted. We'll get some more information today. Chased up a couple of things. He fell in with some bad lot, but it wasn't the Highgate lots. It wasn't Six's lots. He seems to have fallen in with somebody else. So we're going to try and work out what's going on there. Yeah, I know.
I'll leave it to you. I'll leave it up to you.
Yeah. Fantastic, sweet. Also, I'll keep you up to date as soon as.
Yeah, please do. She quickly goes over just how the classes are just still progressing as normal. She's running everything smoothly.
Yeah.
And then she'll hang up. And
cool.
She's good.
Go back in and say, right, that's sorted. We'll get you over to the States tomorrow. You'll crash at mine tonight. You sleep on the sofa, and a friend will take.
He can. So the conversation with Jacob can take this guy in 30 minutes. He can open up portal. He can come to England and then send this guy to America, but he's not going to America, so he's going to stay with you until he can regain his ability to bounce again.
So and we're gonna get you over to America in about half an hour.
Oh shit! I ain't got none of my stuff.
Yeah, well, tough. You're not getting it. they'll be able to track you,
Alright.
mate. You know, they'll be watching your place. Do you really want to risk that?
He looks really sadly at his phone.
Yeah, dump that as well.
Just kind of takes the battery out and puts it in his pocket.
Oh, SIM card, please.
Alright.
SIM card.
Make a persuasion check.
Persuasion.
Yeah.
Did I roll?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
I'm gonna do a contested think at that. No. He just goes, hands it over. Just
Cheers,
the
mate.
SIM card. He keeps the phone.
Yeah, that's fine. That's cool. Cheers for that, mate. Cool. Right, so I've got to get him back home and then keep us updated. Hendrix, I need to have a word with you about your Scarsbridge lot, because I think you said that they were information people.
Yep. They're pretty good.
Sweet. I'll see you
Right.
guys in a couple of hours then. Anything goes on,
Is
give us a bell.
my bike still in the back of your van?
No, we got it out when you came round to ours.
Okay.
I believe it's.
Yeah, we got the tube.
So we did.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
So that's
Yep.
back at ours as well. Yeah.
Right, okay. So it is at City Capoeira.
Where's my Land Rover?
Uh,
Did we leave my Land Rover at Lord Renwick's, or is that at City Capoeira as well?
That's
That's
a
a
city
city as well.
cafe.
I think
you
that all the
drove
vehicles
here.
are now at City.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Daryl had to go off on his motorbike to go somewhere, then came back via
Yeah.
Transport
Portal.
Circle through the embassy, and then
Yep.
you guys arrived in
Darren
Land
drove us.
Rover and van. Yeah. Okay. Raphy and Simon head off. Is that right? Is it just you two?
Unless somebody wants to come with us.
I'll
well,
come with.
I'm probably going to take my bike to the Rage Council place, so I'll probably go with you as well, if only just to pick up the bike.
Right.
Bea,
So we've got a group of people going, Raphy. Yep.
Wait, are we going somewhere where there's Mage Council people?
Yes, the embassy. What?
Some
got-
are, or
I might
can
go
be.
too then, just to see if that Shona fella's around. He wanted to speak to me, didn't he?
Hope you ride pillion well.
Yeah.
There's no
Alright,
pillion saddle
maybe I
on
won't go
that
then.
on that Canado.
You need a
I'll just stay here
sidecar
and
for a
find some
dog.
food. I'm not bothered.
Get a sidecar
Alright.
for
No,
him.
he's going to be he's going to be sitting on the gas tank with
Yeah, no, yeah.
the arms around him.
Yeah, pair of goggles and his ears flapping in the wind.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sorry, go on, Andy. You've been trying to say something.
I was going to say, where did I arrange to meet John Shepperson?
At the hotels.
That was it. Okay. So I will announce I'm going to the hotel.
Okay. Because of the nature of the hotel and the many openings that it has within all the big cities, basically, we could say for convenience that it will be midway between here and going back to Raphy's. So you guys can move as a troop if you wish. Remember, you also have Tay with you, who has elected to stay with you because there is no chance of her returning without at least some kind of prize of Aussie or valuable information.
As far as Berrin's concerned, Tay seems to have attached herself to Raphy, so I'm assuming she's going with Raphy.
Okay, so she will very likely move alongside with Raphy, to be fair. he seems the most street smart, apart from the dog, who hasn't said a great deal, because Ben's not been a lesson. And also, he's human. So, unless there's anything else, Cadman, did you want to do anything whilst you're around this way?
I'd like to try and see if I can communicate with the circle spirit, but I think that's going to be quite a bit of effort. So I think I might hold off on that.
I think you can do that whilst other people are splintering off if you wish. Everything within London is so quite close to each other. The only thing you kind of need to be aware is if you're going to go out looking for a fight, your allies aren't going to be with you. That's the only thing I would say.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to go out and try and look for trouble, if you find it, you're on your Todd.
I don't think Kevin ever looks for trouble. It just finds him half the time.
Yeah, but like, I think if you're going off and doing things, you're all sensible enough, so people to, go and get errands done, and meet back at a certain place. I don't want to hinder your character choices by not knowing whether you can or not. Okay.
Yep.
So, if you want to go and find what would be something of a haven of sorts for the circle, place where perhaps they gather round to help tend to certain magical aspects of circles and whatnot. There is, I'd say there's one nearish by, maybe not
Mhm.
a little bit out of the way of where these guys are going, so you'll have to splinter off a little bit. About 20-30 minutes walk from here. You know where it is, and it's like in one of those old churches that is a little bit forgotten and down back alleys and whatnot. It's not like a really popular church. It's a very old style one.
Yeah.
Crammed between several houses and buildings and whatnot. So if you want to, you can head there.
I
All
certainly
right.
would. Yep.
I will get back to you in a minute then. So, everyone's heading off towards City Capoeira. Cadman, I'm assuming, explains what you're doing, or you're just going to wander off?
I'll mention that I want to try and find and talk to the circle spirit and see what's going on.
Okay. And you head off.
I don't think you should be going on your own.
You can come with if you choose.
Well, I don't trust this Simon fella. I was going to go with Raphy, but is there anybody else going with your Raphy, with this Simon fella?
Yeah.
But Dal's coming with us to City Capoeira. We're meeting Jacob there, and we're getting rid of Simon straight away.
Oh, okie dokie. I'll come with you then, Kevin. Watch out for that Simon, though. He's dodgy. He's going to stab you in the back first chance he gets. I'd put him down now.
I'm sure Raphy will punch him out.
I know.
He wouldn't do that, would you, Simon?
I'd put him down now. But there you go. That's just me.
He's just giving everyone the side eye and sulking. Okay, Liam and Cadman head off towards the little church. Along the way, there is a rather inconspicuous set of double doors that just lead to nowhere, but nobody seems to be paying it much attention. This is one of the entrances to the hotel. Baron, you can split off here if you wish.
I will split off and go and have a chat.
Okay. And everyone else heads off to City Capoeira. You make it there, no trouble. You do hear along the way, there's a lot of buzz amongst certain groups of people as you walk past them about things happening that have happened recently in the last couple of hours. There's already news reports in little on the screens you can see of TV shops as you go by. People watching on their phones, the news reports of a lone gunman shooting up an area within London. Some of the things that they're reporting on have clearly been taken care of by the mundane relations department already, which is what Spence Clement had already said. Some of the details are a little bit squiffed from what actually happened. Apparently, this lone gunman has been apprehended already and taken into custody. The building that he'd come from had been set alight and is now being put out by fire services, etc. That's kind of all you get as you're wandering along. And you make it to the building. I think just about in time. You see, Raphy, you go sort of straight in. There is no classes going on at the moment, so you can see downstairs having a chat and a cup of tea. As both Renee and Jacob, who's obviously arrived earlier, and I don't know whether I have a handout for this guy. Hang on.
I can't
Certainly
find a
saved.
picture of Tay either.
Hey, let me get a picture of Tay up.
I thought you did share it. I can't see it under the NPCs list.
Yeah, so her name is Jade
Yes.
Taylor, which might throw you up a little bit.
Oh, Jade Taylor. Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously the nickname is Tay. I
got
saved
ya.
it under her name for some reason. So yeah, she's a tiefling woman. She's obviously rocking up with you guys, same as this Simon guy. I don't have a picture for Jacob at the moment because I forgot to download it because I'm an idiot. But
That's fine.
you see before you I'd say a man roughly in his early 30s, blonde hair, blue eyes. He looks kind of like your forever tourist. He's wearing gear on him that look like he's always out and about, probably camping and whatnot. This guy definitely hikes, you know what I mean? He's probably got granola in his pocket. And as soon as you see him, he sees you coming through the door. He goes, Raphy, I see you brought a whole party with you. A welcome back
Yes.
party.
Sort of. These are the folks that we're helping. Helping me with what's going on.
Oh,
Okay.
right. Are
This
all
one.
of these people going?
No. Just this one, pointing to Simon.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
We promised him somewhere out of the way, somewhere safe.
Out of the way. Safe,
Somewhere
yes.
safe. And somewhere where we will be able to find him easily.
So Arizona desert is out of the question then.
One of the small towns there, with the little mom and pop towns. Not a ghost
Right,
town.
right.
Yeah, we still want him to be able to live.
He pulls out his phone and you can see that he's scrolling through some kind of version of Google Maps. And he's sort of just scrolling past certain areas. And there's a small area in the middle of America, because I don't know America that well. He finds a small town that's within public transport distance of a major city. So it's not going to stick him straight in the city. If he wants to go further out into the sticks, he can. If he wants to go to the city, he can. It's kind of like a mid-ground. Is this good? Yes? Yes?
Works for me.
Mr. whoever your name is? Simon just goes, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, anything to just get me away from this place, isn't it? Okay, good attitude. Keep that.
And
Do
to
you
make
want me
sure you're
to
not
do this?
1 second. To make sure you're not
No.
completely screwed, yeah. Here's some cash. Well, I say cash.
Oh,
And
you're
give
just
him.
giving me some money.
I'm going to give you some gold, mate.
Gold. Yeah, you could
Yeah.
Venmo him some cash or something.
No. I'm going to
or
give him gold so there's no
like actual
traceability.
cash.
Actual
So-
gold.
He is going to America, and you have British sterling.
No. Gold. As in
Oh, gold. What,
Punks.
like actual gold?
Gold.
But why have you
actual
got gold?
Because I've got old gold
Okay,
coins
sure. Yeah.
from like all my collections
Um,
and stuff. So
it's
it's
not going to be
stuff that he can
suspicious at
sell
all.
and it's untraceable.
All right. Okay.
Yeah,
Fair
just
enough.
fact-
He does look a little bit disdained. He's all like, "What am I supposed to do with this?" I mean, thanks, I guess.
Take it to a pawn shop. It's gold. Get the cash, and you're sorted.
All right.
Bit
Well,
more.
listen. Thanks. And
Don't leave that
peace
town,
out.
though. Don't leave that
All
town.
right.
They won't be able to find you. Yeah.
So, Jacob looks at you and goes, "Do you want me to send this guy now?"
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to have to shutter the door or something, because otherwise, Mage's Council will be on my ass. So,
Upstairs.
oh,
Go
okay.
upstairs.
So you guys wander upstairs. Jacob does this a small right on the floor. It doesn't take very much. The equivalent of an action, and he opens up, like just straight up in the air, and it looks very similar to how you do your gate to Shabalba. Very similar in magical energies. It rips open just a straight hole in the middle of your living room, and Simon sort of does a quick look back to you guys, can't quite believe in his luck almost, and he goes, "Peace," and jumps through the portal. It closes behind him after 6 seconds. Through the portal, you could see that this was in a very quite a nondescript area, probably out in the woods a little bit, away from prying eyes where anyone would have been able to see a portal opening, somewhere where Jacob would have known. Oh, to cast this spell, to cast this ability, I should say, Jacob has a set of, he takes out a set of key rings, and it's just a big loop of jangling key rings, and each key ring is got like London, Paris, Arizona desert, all these sort of things, and he chooses one of them, which is like obviously from a gift shop from this area, and uses that as the focus to open this portal, and it closes, and he is gone. And he goes,
Is the
"Excellent." Yeah, go on.
is the right done in front of all of us?
Yeah.
Does Daryl recognise, or has he heard of this spell or ability before?
This spell. Make me an Arcana check. It'll, yeah. I don't know what it is. Yeah. You get the feeling that this is a especially with the components that he has, that this is essentially a teleport spell, but it's not a spell that he's doing. It's an ability. So it's Raphy has a similar sort of ability for banishing spirits and whatnot. That is a spell, but is an ability for Raphy. He has a similar one, which is to teleport. And
Okay. This being a secret society, I'm guessing that of these Mystic Warriors, no one's ever heard of that sort of ability.
So
enough.
it's obviously as the spell, you know plenty of wizards and whatnot that can. What is it? Is it a wizard spell? Bards, sorcerers, and wizards can do it. So like it's a high level spell, not the highest, but getting up there.
He's got the teleport spell, but he realizes that when he teleports, he goes with them.
So it has to be you and willing creature, but you could also, with this ability, he can send just an object or a person and just ping them off. Essentially, it can't be against their will, but I don't think you'd know that.
Yeah.
Well, you might know that with that Arcana check.
Yeah.
It would have to be willing. So
mental note taken. Yep. Okay.
Okay. He turns back to Raphy. So, I am here for the evening. What are you? You all look so worried. What's happened? You're covered in blood. What happened?
Give him the story.
Okay, cool. You give him the
I'm
story, and
holding nothing back.
you give him the full spiel. After a while, you know Jacob is quite a happy chap. He always seems to have a smile on his face. He becomes increasingly more concerned the more this story goes on. Bembe, this is bad. This is worrying. Have you heard about Jahan?
No. What's
I'm
going on
surprised. Well, Jahan, yeah, well, he died. It was 3 days ago.
there? What?
He has re-entered the cycle. Yes.
He didn't see it coming.
Well, exactly. Very strange. He's usually quite ahead of that, and he lasted as long as he did because of it. But I don't know.
Sorry. He was the divination wizard, folks, and a bloody good one as well.
And yes, he. I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but unusual circumstances for sure.
Were there any details on wounds or how it happened?
I don't know. It's going to be. I have yet to return to Cancun to find to meet with Hunshuk to have our debrief, as it were. She doesn't trust over mental or sending communications. In the past, demons have found ways to exploit this, so we go directly. But I haven't had time. I've been too busy. I will. I think it's time I should pay her a visit, and if you will let me, may I repeat to her what you have told me here?
Yeah, I've no issue with that. Anyone else?
No, I'm not. I'm not sure if it's been mentioned in Raphy's any part of the story, but the wounds that we know we'd seen on the bodies of the women on the island. I think we'd also had intelligence that the maybe the Mage Council had similar wounds. So if we could describe those wounds, and if this Jahan exhibits similar wounds, it may well be linked.
Yes, absolutely. I will pass that on. Everything that seems to have happened seems to be in England, though, yes? Or Britain?
That we know of.
Yeah, Jahan was in Iran at the time.
Yeah.
As far as I know, he that's where he stayed, of course. But I mean, it's not going to be by any mundane means.
But
I don't know the
sorry,
situation of his death, so.
Sorry, I'm a bit of a loss actually. Sorry, folks. That's kind of hit me.
We should drink tonight. Make sure that his spirit gets a good welcoming back into the cycle. He'll be with us again soon. You know how this goes.
Yeah. But that means there's 3 in the cycle now.
Yeah. More than usual,
Okay.
but it's been like this before.
Yeah, I suppose. Bad times and all that.
A drink then. And he goes off to your kitchen and helps himself to just whatever you've got in your drinks cupboard, and he starts like putting it out on the table for people to have. Fully making himself at home as he usually does. And yeah. So whilst that is going on, let's
can I
go
just say
over. Yeah.
quickly
Yeah,
before
go.
we leave that, I take this opportunity to sort of whistle over Hendrix as I think this is their cue to leave and sort of head towards the door.
Righto. Jump
It
down
was-
off the sofa and hello.
Cool. So you guys head off. Pay. As soon as there was drinks involved, she was sort of like, "Oh, pour me one," and she'll stay with you, Raphy. And you are left to remember a good friend. We'll quickly do the embassy first. So the trip to the embassy by bike is make me just a straight, would it be survival? Just to see which roads are not going to be blocked. Yeah, roll me survival. Yeah, there is no quickly. You can say that again. Yeah, roll me survival. Yeah. You foresee a couple of blocked roads up ahead, quickly diverting down other lanes and whatnot, and you manage to make it to the embassy in good time. And I think you're probably there for just a small wait. Whilst you're there, Hendrix, you wanted to find out whether Shona was around. Is that right?
Yeah. Just I know he was looking for me, even if it's just a message or something.
Okay. So the Majors Council Embassy is like it's not a huge building. It's just in the grand scheme of things, kind of just like an average. It's like maybe an old college or something like that. Like a small-ish building. Very nice architecture and whatnot. In the middle of there's like an archway between 2 parts of the building, and within it that you can fully drive in and out of is a teleportation circle. That obviously how Daryl had got here originally, and it just leads straight out into like this courtyard area, and you can leave normally straight into sort of mundane traffic from there. Obviously, this area is hidden by the daze somewhat to stop prying eyes, and within the building there's like a small reception area. You can see there's a couple of people that might be there to ask about certain things, a couple of magically inclined people that are like waiting to hear from someone of an official nature, and are just sitting in this waiting area a bit. And there's like a desk, and there's a man at the desk that's sort of you can go up to him and ask him about this. I think it's probably not the first time you've been here, Hendrix.
Okay.
So he recognizes you, and he goes,
Okay.
"Oh, hello again. How can I help?"
Oh yeah. I was just looking for Shona. I understand he left messages for me to contact him. I've been away for a little while.
All right, just tagging in, as it were. He looks on his computer for a little bit, sort of just looking over any sort of paperwork or emails that may have been sent forward for you. He does see something, and he goes, yeah, I can see here. It's your handler, is that correct?
Sure. Let's go with that.
Sure. He's put in a request to see you. It's not marked as urgent, but I can mark you here as being seen by us. It's more of a keeping
It's just a
tabs on
check-in, is
where
it?
you are. It's just a check-in, I believe. There's nothing further in this thing, but what I can say
Yeah.
is that you've contacted us and you're in the area for him to reach out to you.
Okay.
Why does that sound like your parole officer?
It is exactly
Because
that.
it is. It's
Okay.
exactly his parole officer. You were there, man. You were there at the
I've
hearing.
just remembered this now. Yes.
Yeah. So, in that side of things, Shona's not there, but you can say that you've definitely checked in, and that's something you don't
Okay.
need to worry about until he contacts you. That's just so I can keep the story running at the moment. I'm sorry, bud.
Nope, no
Felt like
worries.
there was
That's
a bit of
fine.
detour for you. So, and
And just to make sure that they know I've been here, I'm gonna have a whiz
Yep.
on the way out.
I knew you were gonna.
Mark-
I knew you were gonna do something that was gonna be like so obscene.
If they're marking me as their territory, I'm marking them as my territory.
It's my building now.
Yep.
Daryl, you are. You wait for a little bit unless there's anything you want to do. You know that things will
Well,
pop up when they pop up.
I looked down at Hedge. I looked down at Hedge and say, "I like your style, mate, but you're never going to fit in round here. If that's where you're going to go, it's all right."
Who says I want to fit in?
Well, that's fine.
Yeah, it's
Well,
boring.
you're the one. You're the one reporting to Shona. I'm just saying.
Well, it's that or a death squad, so you know.
Fair play. Fair play.
In the pokey. So, after about 15 minutes, a couple of couriers have already come through, sort of like, so it feels like once every 5 minutes somebody's appearing in the transportation circle, slightly robe-esque suits, where they've taken on this style from the old style wizard robes and turned them into suits. Coming in, dropping a load of stuff off at the desk, running back, doing the circle, bamfing back wherever they need to go. And after 15 minutes, a courier comes in, drops a load of stuff at the desk. The guy at the desk sorts through it, blah, 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 calls out a few names. Mr. Daryl Knight.
Yeah, that'll be me. Yep.
Yep. And he hands over, looks like a leather scroll case with the symbol of the Order of the Shield on it, and hands it to you. Gets you to sign a piece of paper just to say that you've received it, and within it is a bomb. No, I'm joking. Is 3 copies of the Scry scroll.
Okay.
Okay. Which I believe is the only thing you asked for, wasn't it? It's the Scry
Yes.
scroll. Yeah.
Yep.
So you have 3 copies, and that's it. That's all you get.
Okay. Well, unless you want to take a leak anywhere else, I guess we head back. Yeah.
I think Hendrix thinks about that for a minute and then says, "No, I'm good."
Beautiful, beautiful. I'm going to skip over to Cadman and Liam. Cadman, you start leading the way through this part of the city, starting to get into like older housing territory. Some really nice featured houses here. Definitely the older part of London. Not as busy. And eventually you come across this pokey little church. Looks quite gloomy. but that often detracts people from being too curious about it and ended up inside. And you can end.
Cool.
It's
Are we expecting any trouble, Captain?
No, it may look like you're on the outside, but it's a lot nicer on the inside.
All right.
It's much worse on the inside. No, I'm joking. Liam, you kind of get a little sense of apprehension as you come up to the church. Usually around churches, they have
Yeah.
hallow
Yeah.
grounds and whatnot. This doesn't have hallow ground on it. It doesn't
Okay.
seem to have the spell at all. And you are walking freely within it. What's your passive perception?
18.
As you're wandering into this church, there is, although it's church shaped, there's not a lot of Christian style trappings or even any other type of major religious styles of iconography around. Seems to be kind of just church shaped building. Perhaps some of those icons and symbols have been removed long ago, or they were just never put there, and this is an agnostic church potentially, but you don't get the feel that this is one of the big religions, as it were. As you go in, Cadman, it is nicer on the inside. There is a warm feel to this place. Everything seems to be like stone and wood, but there's like a sense of welcomeness to it. And just sort of milling around in the front area, where obviously he's recently been doing some stuff in this portion of the main church area, is a man who you haven't seen for many years, but you do recognize him. His name is Samuel. And I don't have a picture for this guy. I apologize again.
Oh,
Did not upload it. I know. Do I have a picture for this guy? I do not. He looks up at you. What do you look like at this moment?
I think I last looked like one of the capoeira students again.
Okay. So he looks up and he goes, welcome, come in. You can take a seat, take a rest if that's what you need. Is there any reason you wish to visit us today?
What was his name again? You just said that I've completely blanked already, like 30
Samuel.
seconds.
That's right. Samuel.
Good afternoon, young brother Samuel. And I'll pull out my holy symbol.
Oh, Hendrix? Hendrix. Fuck. Padman? Hendrix? Sorry. Well, this is weird.
Damn dog gets
He goes,
everywhere.
yeah, I know.
He does.
He inquires as he recognizes the holy symbol being as old as it is.
Yes.
Oh, what do we owe the
And
pleasure?
a companion of mine.
Yes, hello. My name is Brother Samuel. You are?
Liam O'Brien, pleased to meet you.
Pleased to meet you, Liam. What can I help you with today, Cadman?
I want to know more about the goings on with the circle spirits, and possibly even attempt to commune with Bounty if that's possible. I know he's in hiding.
You and the rest of the Mage Society, I'm afraid. Well, we've had the Arch Druid Gideon Theophristus here already, passing through, attempting to commune, but having no luck. I'm willing to let you have a try, but we have had no luck. I'm assuming you know what happened with Harvey.
Remind
I'll be
us.
up.
Well, he suddenly disappeared, quite distressingly, from the way that the Antonios had described it. He'd seemed to be in quite a bit of pain, and it was not of his own will that he suddenly disappeared. We do not know much else, but we do know that there is some trouble contacting any of the spirits. I don't. We have been trying some restorative rites. Nothing seems to have worked so far. We're taking our lead from the Mages Council, but they are no closer to understanding what has gone on. Come
The
through to the
Mages
main
Council don't
chamber.
understand. They're too young.
It's often the way. He walks you through out the back, through sort of like a couple of corridors. Seems to go quite far back, and you come out at almost like this secret garden area, nicely enclosed, like a forecourt. Lots of greenery here, some trees and whatnot, and in the middle is what looks to be some naturally occurring um, well, I say naturally occurring, that some stone pillars that have been here for a long time, I should say, not naturally occurring.
Mm.
Not quite a circle, but what would have been considered a marker for certain places. This church was obviously built around one of these places as an important probably to the magical connections it has. It's probably either on a ley line or on an old circle that used to be, possibly might even be Bountiful Harvest Circle himself. It's not that far, and you know that circles and ley lines can shift over time. So this might have been an old circle potentially.
Mm.
I can help you with this rite if you wish to try and communicate.
On like that, I'm not. I'm low on energy as of dealing with ingrats lately.
Worrying. Let me help. Does Mr. O'Brien, do you wish to partake in the rite?
Oi, I was just going to say so. I was wondering if I could help either, or just join in.
I'm sure
Circles are
that
there for
won't be an
everyone.
issue.
You
Indeed,
what,
they
Kevin?
are.
I said circles are here for everyone. You just gotta know how to talk to it right.
Samuel seems to be just looking Liam at you sort of appraisingly for a moment. Sort of like a small magical glint in his eyes, as you get the idea that he's sensing something about you that is confirming, and he just got his eyebrows raise
I'll
and he nods
smile.
his head.
I'll smile and let a fang come down.
Yeah, and he goes and he looks at Cadman and he goes, I will get everything that needs to be got for this rite then. And he goes ahead and he seems unfazed. So he comes back out of this area with so he goes back into the building, and comes back out to where you are,
Mhm.
with looks to be a couple of mats that you would sort of kneel on, etc., and some refreshments for you in the form of like just some water and biscuits, those sort of things, just snacky things, and offers them to you if you wish for them.
I'll forego the
Um,
mat and plant my feet into the ground,
um,
feeling the earth around my feet.
he turns to Liam and he says, have you taken part in anything such as this before?
I don't think so. I've been no, maybe I've been to Fairy and that, and got involved in some of that shenanigans, but I don't know. It's not it's not the same. I guess it's kind of similar.
It is
There's some
it is
similarities,
more along the lines of
probably.
yes, there are some similarities. This is very nature based. It is people often think us divine, but we are only divine in that we in the divinity that is nature, and it is a
It's just a true
conjoining of
divinity.
some would say that, yes.
I just did.
Um, he kind of tries to guide you to stand in a certain position. All three of you making up sort of points just in a circle, or a triangle, I should say, with this circular space in between you in the middle of this courtyard. If you allow him to do that, he'll sort of just guide you to a certain place, and he'll say, you can stand, but I would, for those not accustomed to reaching out to the circles, sometimes their presence can be overwhelming if we are to make contact, which I don't know will happen, but if it does, perhaps sitting down would be better.
I may as well sit down now. I'll probably end up on my back with my brains sliming out of my ears soon anyway.
Well, I
It's
hope
not
that
that
doesn't
bad.
That's
he
not wrong.
himself actually takes the positive. He himself takes a kneeling position, and Cadman, you've done this before, especially with Samuel as well. There's sort of like a harmonizing of a note between you. It's not singing so much as just humming and finding the notes together. Liam, you don't feel that you have to take part in any of the things that are actually happening, but just being here, as soon as the rite starts, you suddenly feel a connection to what's happening, and it's quite entrancing.
I definitely want to take part and be involved.
Yes, you are at 100%. It's just more of the case of because you wouldn't know what things to do and what
Yeah.
you could be a passenger in this
Yes.
and still have the full experience. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
So, you start to feel this. You both start to feel this feeling as though magic, the magic around you becomes very tangible. You are stuck in your bodies, and your nerves are on edge, and you can feel every slight vibration of every living thing in this garden, from insects to the birds flying over, and eventually to like the background noise of even the plants themselves. This noise that is just a singular note that Samuel and Cadman are sharing between them becomes so background. It just it harmonizes with the other the notes of this magic aura of everything else. You start to hear magic, or the sound of rushing water. It sounds like at first, and then you realize you're not by any water, obviously, and it's around you. And the noise is so tangible now that you can almost see it. Thin wisps of blue, white energy that seems to be coming from a direction through this garden, straight through this circle, and out on the other side of a circle. You can physically see the ley lines as this rite goes on, and it goes on for a good 10 minutes. Cadman,
Yep.
You feel where the ley lines are, but something is not right. Something definitely feels very, very wrong. I'd like you to make me a what would it be? Either a insight check
Mm.
or perception.
That's definitely insight then.
You can definitely feel that things are weaker than usual. Usually this feeling of rushing magic, almost like a stream, is more like a roar of a a river. This is almost like a trickle of what it should be. Something is the magic is magic comes from nature and everything, and it feeds in a cycle of things. For it to be this diminished, something is sucking the magic out. And with your check, you can kind of gather a sense of a direction. Is there anything? So as a direction of where this pull is going, so where the direction is being pulled to, potentially, where it is being sucked out, basically, diminished.
Okay.
Is there anything that you want to do? You said you wanted to reach out to Bountiful Harvest. Do you reach out to
Yeah.
him or to anyone else?
I'll try and reach out to him, and then if that doesn't work, reach out to anyone that will answer.
Okay. Make me just a straight wisdom check. And this is for Bountiful Harvest, so you're calling out to him.
Wisdom check.
Straight wisdom. Pretty good. You start to feel his presence, and usually you can communicate by him manifesting and you having a chat. That doesn't seem to happen this time. He's weakened to the point where he's only able to barely recognize that you're reaching out to him. And he seems to be panicking and trying to reach back out to you in return. You're getting a lot of feelings of something's wrong. I feel untethered from my brothers and sisters. He's feeling unlinked from the other circles.
Do I feel this
Uh,
that Cabin's
yeah,
picking up?
so you're experiencing at the same
experiencing
time.
what Cabin's
Yeah,
experiencing.
what Cadman is doing. Yeah. So Cadman is kind of like exerting his will to make this appear, so you and Samuel can see this. Samuel, you
I'll
see
burn
Samuel's
my spell
eyebrows
slots.
raised. Sorry, go ahead.
I'll burn my last level 2 and my 2 level 1s to sort of feed him a bit of energy, as I know it's being
Okay.
siphoned away to try and help.
Can I assist with that? Burn, see what he's doing, and give Cabin some spell slots as well to give over.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think it requires a skill check because you're using skill points. So you both linked in this moment. You both clock what each other want to do, and you start pouring your spell slots into this moment to make contact with Bountiful Harvest, giving him enough energy to come out and speak to you. In the middle of this circle, on down on his knees, this apparition of Harvey appears to you. Well, to all of you, but Cadman, you recognise this as Harvey. and he something is wrong.
Is Harvey? Harvey is the name of Bountiful Harvest.
Bountiful
isn't it?
Harvest, yeah. So Harvey's like the nickname.
Right.
Apologies, yeah. So Bountiful Harvest appears before you. Liam, you are seeing a man sort of like late middle ages. He's dressed like a chef. So he's got like an apron on, and he looks kind of just like your average guy that's out back in the doing the chefing at a restaurant. He's got black slick back hair with grey bits at the side. But his face is contorted in worry and surprise, and he is struggling to
pain as
stay
well?
present.
Is it
Yes,
pain?
he looks
It's
like
pain as
he
well.
does look like he's in pain. Yeah.
Okay.
And he gasps. He goes, "Something is wrong. Well, where am I?"
You're safe. You're in your
No, nothing is safe.
area.
Nothing is safe. Something is happening. Something. They're taking the essence. They're taking the ley lines. They're corrupting it. They're bleeding the magic.
So we need to stop that.
Who's they?
There was he turns to look sort of around him to get sort of position of where he is. Seems a bit disorientated. He sees Samuel, he recognizes him, and he looks towards you, Liam. And his eyes widen, and he goes, like you, like, and more. The demons, the vampires, they've started a ritual. You have to stop them. You have to stop them soon. Otherwise, we cannot regain what we have lost. He reaches his hand out towards you, Cadman. You take it.
Yes.
You hold on to his hand, and you can feel this pulse of energy and vision. Suddenly, you see there is a dark place somewhere underground. Perhaps a sewer or something. Definitely underground rooms. It's dark and it's damp. It's old style buildings, not new at all. There is a flash of the image of somebody laughing cruelly. There is the flash of somebody else around you that is chanting something. What languages do you speak?
Ooh,
Can I hear?
oh,
I can hear it as well, can't I? Because I'm experiencing everything Kevin's
As you're
experiencing.
into this, yeah.
Celestial,
This connection
Druidic,
is
Infernal, and Sylvan.
I've got Abyssal, Elvish, Gaelic, Latin, Old Irish, Sylvan, and Wolf.
okay. Liam, you sort of recognize it, but you don't understand it. It's similar to Abyssal. Kyle, this is Infernal. They are speaking Infernal. It is a chant of some kind of ritual to bind this magic and break a ley line. You see around you hazy figures, more than one. There is one that is off to the side of you that has more than one set of arms. You recognize it as the Ifrit, but you can't make out any details of who this person is. And then the last mote of strength that he has left, your perception suddenly goes to the wall, the back wall of this chamber, and smeared in either red paint or blood is the image of a serpent. And Liam, you are seeing this as well. You recognize this symbol. It is the Crimson Serpent. It is a vampire cult symbol.
Oh,
And you are pulled out of this vision. in the last moments that he is corporeal, Bountiful Harvest looks into your eyes, Cadman, and he says, "Please," and he fades away
Save your
into
strength.
the magic streams.
How many spell slots do you want of us? How many spells? How many
So,
levels of stuff do you want?
I think from Cadman, I got all of his second and third. Was that? Was it
2 firsts and 1 second, which is all I had left.
2 first and 1 second? And Liam, you said a couple of spell slots. So
Yeah, so I can do.
of your.
What do you want to do? I've got all my first, all my second left, and 1/3. So I can do 1 second in the first, or 2 second in the first. What? Or 2 second, 2 first. What do you want?
2 seconds. It's fine.
2 seconds.
Just mark off 2 seconds.
Yeah. Okay.
Because that was just enough time for you to have that conversation. Him to give you the vision. This feels like as you've come out of this rite, and Samuel helps calm the rite down, sort of to a close, so it's not a snap out of it sort of job. He allows it to end softly, and he says to you, Cadman, that is more than the High Druid was able to perceive. You clearly have a stronger link with the circles. I
been
should
dealing with them for a
inform the
time.
Mages Council.
Yeah, I need to gather my friends. Need to deal with this.
So you now you're out of this right moment. Both of you feel like that was a somewhat of a memory. That is not something that is happening right now. That is something that he had perceived when everything had gone wrong.
Right. Okay. We're perceiving the ritual that they performed, which caused him to go wrong.
Started it all.
Yeah. Okay.
For the first time, Kyle, that you've known Liam, he's actually smiling.
And it's creepy as fuck.
He's almost got a grin on his face.
You're not smiling the last time you were hunting vampires.
Oh yeah, you saw. Yeah, not quite as much as this.
Okay, this is a creepy level of smile.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were just spawn. They were just kind of something to do between breakfast and lunch.
Is that everything that you want to do in this moment?
Yes.
Let's move over to Andy. Andy, sorry, buddy.
That's all right. No, it's fine. Fine. It's very interesting bits they've just discovered. So.
Now is the time for all the information to come out. For the next bit, you have entered the hotel, and it is, as always, very well decorated, Art Deco sort of interior. Everything's kind of golds and blacks and silvers. There is the sign-in book, which you must sign in to be able to enter.
I shall sign in. I shall look if John Shepperson has signed in already or not.
He has indeed. His very ornate cursive script is a guest just before you. So he seems to be either the hotel's not very busy or you just came in just behind it, perhaps.
I sign in and then with a nod to the receptionist, head into the bar on the assumption that he's somewhere in the bar.
Okay. Around the bar area, you see there's not that many people in here.
I've tried to look for a face that's familiar.
Yeah. Roll me a history check. So to be honest, your passive perception's quite high, isn't
Yeah,
it?
but it's more memory rather than. Okay.
It is.
I
You know what you're looking for. You know that you're looking for an elven man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
do I spot anyone waving at me?
you you don't. You do look around. You can see there's a few people sitting by the bar. Frank, the golem, is currently at the bar. Pepper does not seem to be here.
Who
Somebody
was
else
Pepper?
Pepper's the guy that actually owns the hotel, or is
Okay.
in charge of the hotel.
Okay.
I should say. But the place runs pretty much by itself generally. He's just like the person who greets people, really. And you do see in a booth, sort of quite off to the side, there is a quite well dressed elven gentleman who is busy reading a newspaper as you come in. Hasn't spotted you yet. Kind of look over curiously. You look towards bar area, and Frank looks up at you. Obviously the golem that you'd met there before. And he nods to you, and then he inclines his head towards the gentleman.
Does the gentleman have a drink in front of him?
He does. He looks to have some kind of coffee in a little.
What time of
cappuccino.
day is it?
Well, it's now probably about four. Yeah, about 4, because you would have just left.
Okay, an inch of whiskey with ice then, I think. Oh no, was it? No, was it a drink? Not whiskey. Was it brandy? I drink expensive brandy. That was it.
You got the really expensive stuff.
Yeah. So I should go and get myself a brandy.
Yep.
And then wander over to the elven man.
Almost as if he had it ready and was expecting you. Frank has already poured you, or ready to pour you as soon as you walked in, this brandy. And he goes, he hands it to you. And you head off to this booth. By now he's spotted you, and he looks up, and a big grin, sort of across his face, and he sort of shuffles so he's sitting more upright, and he goes, "Berenger, so good to see you again, my friend."
John, good to see you as well. And I offer my hand to shake.
He shakes your hand. This man is, again, I'm gonna have to get the pictures up next time. Oh no, that's a different guy. Fuck. I have to get the pictures up next time. Sorry.
No worries.
But he is
He's an old elf.
in human years. Yeah, in human years he looks sort of late 50s, I think. But that's old for an elf. Elves often don't show their age until like several hundred years. So this is like many years old elf. He's quite well dressed, smartly, but not like ostentatiously. So it's like, blends in. And he sort of gestures for you to sit down. And he goes,
No, he says something.
Uh-huh. I was going to say, should we get the elephant in the room out of the way? How much do you remember?
Well, my strongest memory is of you and I working together, rescuing Charles I.
Yeah. I was much younger.
Yes, so was I. And then I have to confess, my memory has gaps in it, as I think you know. But a friend of a friend said to me that I was looking for you about 8 years ago, and I have no memory of this. I don't know when we last met, whether I found you then and whether it was important or not. But hence the text message. But also, I remember you being a more than competent wizard, and
Like to think so.
and at one point a member of the council, or a junior member
Yeah.
of the council, I think. Is that right? Is my memory right?
Yes. Junior. Certainly, I never quite made it to senior before they decided that it was a humans only club. But
Okay. And
I'm totally past it, as you can tell.
yes. Okay. And so I'm working with some recently made acquaintances, a sort of bit of a crew working together. Where on earth
Do
did I
you
get
make
that word?
friends quite easily?
We'll have to make friends again and again that I sort of forget. But we've been asked to investigate all the trouble that's going on in London at the moment. And part of that is trying to find a particular person. And we have a wizard with us, but I think the phrase is his areas of expertise lie elsewhere. I think generally
Not
fire. He likes playing with fire, I think. He's
a
very.
battle mage.
I think so.
Some wizards do lend themselves to that area. They can be quite proficient in it, actually. But
He's certainly proficient.
mm,
But and he's off trying to secure some form of scrying spell or device or something like that at the moment to try and find this person. But I thought as another option, it's always good to have backups. I would ask you if you were, if needed, were you able to scry for a particular person?
I certainly can. I would need to be somewhat familiar with who they are. A description
So
will do, but
so
if
we have photographic.
that will do.
Okay.
Is this of you sounded like this was somewhat urgent.
It is. We're trying to find this person. So sorry, add a character. Add a character. Have I got a copy of the picture from the security cam footage that we had?
So I don't know, because obviously it was shown to you guys. Raphy had confirmed that it was in fact Ozzy.
Who showed it to us?
The Simon.
On
his phone. So he had kind of
yeah.
So unless you've taken a picture of his phone whilst he was doing it, I mean he wouldn't have stopped you to do that. So
I didn't say I was.
plausible.
I didn't say I was. So
okay.
We don't have. So I've seen photographic evidence, but that's not available at the moment.
Is this to do with your quest?
No. Though, have you ever met anyone here inside the hotel? A young woman called Andy Powell.
The only time I frequent the hotel nowadays, and it is infrequent, is frankly to visit you. I don't really spend a lot of time here, I'm afraid. I know Pepper.
Mhm,
Everybody knows Pepper.
mhm. That makes me think of something else. But this woman, conversations developed from meeting her, and one of the things that may be going on with my quest is that my patron, as such, may be damaging my memory, not deliberately, but inadvertently, by trying to maintain his existence.
That is something that we have explored before.
Is it? Okay. I had forgotten.
I evidently you are always so reluctant to bringing too many people into this for good reason. We have had some trouble in the past surrounding it. But I'm not sure whether it is good to bring it up now or not. Part of me is reluctant to bring you out of this ignorant bliss. But the last time you came to me, you had
Was this 8 years ago? Okay.
you had discovered further, let's say, symbols for a something that we have been transcribing for the past 200 years now.
Okay.
Something that was before I met you. You had written in one of your diaries, and it had been stolen. You had retrieved part of it, and I've been helping with that since. But we haven't got the full picture, and quite frankly, it just doesn't make any sense.
Who stole my diary?
A woman. You claimed at the time you didn't know her.
It's very frustrating.
This person, this Andy, said to you about your memory?
She claimed to be an Iceni goddess called Andresti. And
His eyebrows raised.
That she was in a similar position to my patron, where the lack of current worshippers had weakened her situation. But she met me at that table over there.
We have explored a great many directions with this. Admittedly, the divine hasn't quite been the direction we've necessarily gone to before. Perhaps there is merit. How much do you trust this woman?
I don't.
That is difficult then. How is the Ashcrofts?
Well, I have been requested by Mercy to report on the current events. So tomorrow. So I shall see if any of my colleagues wish to come and report with me. But they. Yeah,
I will repeat to you what I have always repeated to you, though you often forget. There is only so long a man can owe a debt to a family. I think you have long since paid it. It was a long time ago, Beringer. And perhaps it is best that it stays forgotten.
Well, yeah. I mean, at the present moment, we're working to help out the Order of the Shield, so helping out Miss Ashcroft is, I suppose, part of that.
I will help you with your scrying.
Yes, but I've come unprepared to help to give you the bits that you need. I hadn't really
I'm
thought through.
assuming. Do you not have a way to get hold of this, or a
Um,
description of the person?
um, I will need to go and make a phone call. Sorry, out of character, you can't make phone calls from inside the hotel.
Not with inside the hotel, no. Your phone signal is dead. There's nothing on it.
Right.
As you're sort of trying to remember things, you look up at him. There's a brief moment before he hides it of concern. He's definitely more concerned about your how much you've forgotten, and how difficult you're finding remembering certain things at the moment. But he hides it.
Do you think my memory issues are entirely to do with my patron?
I do not think they are due to your age, if that is what you're asking me.
No, I just wondered whether you just set a thought in my mind.
Your
If-
patron has always been very dedicated to you, as you have been to him. He needs you, and I doubt that's causing you, whether indirectly or directly, causing you problems. I think you have been at war with someone for a very long time. Yeah, your quest is not the only bounty that's there is more than one of you that seek it, and they have made your life very, very difficult, and I believe it is at the hands of them that you have had memory issues.
Okay, because if your comment about the Ashcrofts, I wonder whether they had dabbled with my
Oh,
memories.
no, I don't believe that although I don't know much of the Ashcrofts nowadays. No, the Ashcroft, that stems from a very old and common friend we had. And you felt very obliged to take care of his family once he was gone.
Okay. Okay.
No, this is something else, but I am reluctant to set you on this path again. You have spent quite a bit of time happier than I've seen you in several hundred years. And you've even spent a few decades here and there doing things that you never did before. Spending time with friends, making relationships with others, and until something sparks that need to pursue this quest.
Well, I swore an oath, so it must be fulfilled. Okay.
There seems to be some sort of the disagreement of like he doesn't say anything, but he clearly doesn't agree with the he thinks you're being too hard on it.
Let me get this photograph, and I'm then going to go outside of the hotel.
Yep.
And I'm going to ring Raphy.
All right, ring, 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 ring. How drunk is Raphy? Oh yeah, a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, cool. Your phone is ringing.
Yellow?
Raphy, it's Beren.
Aaron!
Do you have
How
a
are you
photo?
doing?
Not bad, not bad. I've got a potential friend who can do a scry spell for us.
Wait,
Sorry?
sweet.
Do you have a photograph of Ozzy?
Yes, I do. It's on his ID
Can you
sign-up sheet.
text it to me ASAP?
Uh, um, yeah, yeah. Give us something, okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
Baron, you know he's posted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While I'm waiting to see if he actually manages to do that
it, yeah.
highly complicated process, I'm going to text Mercy Ashcroft or
Okay.
her number,
Yep.
and just say can meet tomorrow, where and when. Suggest London.
So she says embassy. No, sorry, she doesn't. She suggests the hotel. Actually, she suggests the hotel, which is somewhat unusual. It would usually be the embassy, but this time she doesn't. And the text does come from her. It says 9 a.m. And it says bring your companions.
Right. While I'm waiting for Raphy to send that photo over, I shall then.
Yep.
I know Cabman doesn't have a phone. I know Hendricks doesn't have a phone. I know Daryl and Raphy do. Does Liam have a phone? I can't remember. No. Okay. So we'll just text.
Oh no.
Yeah, I will just text. Because those two are off on their own. I will just text Daryl and Raphy and say, a council member has asked to meet me tomorrow at 9 a.m. at the hotel. She's asked for you and everyone else to come along, but I can explain if you're not able to come. My thought process is that I'm obviously not typing this. That
Yeah.
Raphy I think is trying to avoid any sort of officialdom, and so we'll probably. But with Daryl, I'm not sure whether he actually is, because he's a bit more politically savvy as to whether he wants to make political contacts or not. So I'll leave it for them to decide.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'll send a photo. It's not the best photo, but it's something.
It's half blurry.
I'll send it about three times. Hopefully, you'll get a good one out of the three.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll go, yay, early morning. See you there.
Okay.
Cool.
Does Daryl respond as well?
I was just standing outside.
Yeah, you go. Yeah, fine with me. Might be another family member. Full stop.
I'll just send back a question mark because Berrin's confused.
He doesn't know what that means.
No, he's actually thinking, what have I forgotten already?
Oh no! Oh, that hurt me.
But I won't wait for Daryl to explain. I'll then go back in and show John the photo.
Okay.
Is that good enough for you to do a scry with?
He takes out a pair of glasses and is doing this long-armed thing where he's trying to read it. And he goes, young tiefling fella.
Yes, he's known as Ozzy. Is it a picture of his ID?
Yeah, so you'll see the full name.
So it's got his full name on it. Okay.
Yeah.
Oliver Shackleton. So,
Can I just sorry, as a character?
Yeah, sure.
Is that a family name that's important? Have I heard that family name, Shackleton?
Yes. Roll me a history check.
Arctic Explorer.
Yeah, there's obviously an Arctic
It
Explorer.
suddenly comes to you. You remember standing in that office just before the Wild Hunt had attacked at the meeting with Hendrix and Delilah. The name John Shackleton was mentioned. John Shackleton being the owner of Hendrix. You don't know if they're related, but it is a coincidence, perhaps.
Sorry, and Ozzy. Sorry, is Ozzy? Sorry, brains. Ozzy is John Shackleton or Oliver.
No.
Ozzy is
Oliver Shackleton.
Oliver Shackleton.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Right. Got
So,
it now.
with that history check, you know that there has been a little bit of talk about recently about Ozzy's older brother going missing several years ago and not holding up his end of the bargain to be part of the gang, which is why Ozzy had been brought in
Okay.
to take up the debt owed by his family. Okay. John is looking, another John. Too many Johns and Franks in this goddamn game.
Yep.
It's
what happens if you let players name their own NPCs.
I know. John is looking at this thing and he goes, "Do you wish me to scry upon this young lad now?"
Yes, I'm keen to know where he is.
Okay. He's sort of like just staring at the photo for a moment, and he closes his eyes. And you can see like a mixture of reactions passing over his facial expressions as he sees roughly where he is, and he's sort of doing this for the next minute. I think the scry spell works for, something like that. He
It's actually 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay, so he'll do it for ice. Yeah,
I
sorry.
was going to say, I shall say to him, the key thing we want to know is he alive and what's his location?
Okay. I think after about 2 minutes, he kind of snaps out of it and he goes, "Ooh, charming young man. Your fella is possessed. Certainly.
Okay.
He is apparently somewhere underground, somewhere quite dark. He's around other people. I saw briefly in the way that scry works. Can't make out too much details of other people, but there was certainly a woman there, a young woman, clearly vampiric in nature, issuing orders about the next shipment of teens.
Next
That
shipment
was
of
the wording
fiends.
they used. Teens. Ten. I don't know if that means anything to you. That was the wording they used. Quite blasé, I think.
T-E-N.
There was
T-E-N.
S.
T-E-N-S.
As in adolescence, I'm assuming.
Probably.
Unless there's kind of teenagers.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'm speaking verbatim.
Yes.
It's exactly word for word what they said. I did not want to stick around. There seemed to be some kind of presence there. I could not see what it was that was able to detect my scry. I did not want to linger and be seen. Whatever your young man is into, he's certainly
Well, he's
up
possessed.
to no good.
We sort
You
of
are trying to get the body, not the. I understand.
Yeah.
Worrying indeed.
Okay.
I can't tell you much about the place, unfortunately. That's not how the scrying works. I can simply tell you that he is alive, and he is somewhere underground with a vampire woman.
Okay. Is there? Can you tell how far away he might be? Is he within a certain radius of here? As a character, does Scry have a?
Know that.
I think it's anywhere on a plane, isn't it?
No, on a plane, yeah. So
Okay.
he's within this plane of yeah. John says he's within this realm. I can tell you that. If he was
Okay.
in a pocket realm, I would not be able to scry on him.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
or indeed in a different realm entirely.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So I'm just going to check up the scry spell in case I'm missing anything.
No, I think that sounds like normal stuff for a
That's
scry
right.
spell. Yeah.
Oh, he's supposed to do a wisdom saving throw to see if he's seen it. I'll say he failed it because it's already said now. It's out the thingy, but his wisdom's not too great anyway. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Right.
I'm afraid there's not much else I can tell you.
Okay. So I'm going to then get. Thank you. That is very useful. I need to warn my colleagues who are trying to gain other scrying opportunities to be careful.
Yes, do be careful. I don't think it'll be the end of the world, but if you are planning any sort of rescue mission, then, well, surprise is a good element to have, and you wouldn't
Yeah.
have it if you are spotted.
But we have no idea where they are at the moment. Okay. Right. Thank you.
Not at all, old chap. Now, when you are done with your business, I see you're doing something quite important. Come back and visit me again, and we can discuss this transcription.
Yes, I will do. I will do.
Very good.
Yes. It's sort of Beren seems to sort of changed a bit because he's got a bit of something to focus on.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he seems less. Yeah. Oh no.
Did we lose Ben?
We did lose Ben.
He said he had to go.
No, he had, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's 10 to 11. Right. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say goodbye. Just to sum up, I'll say goodbye to John. Go outside the hotel, and then text again to Raphy and to Daryl that an old associate of mine has just successfully scryed Aussie. Be warned, there is someone with him who can detect additional scrying. He's underground with a woman, a vampire, who seems to be issuing orders about the next shipment of teens. And as I shall pass that on. Sorry, has Daryl replied about whether he wants to meet the following morning and come to this meeting?
Yeah. It says, I did, yeah. It's cool. It might be another family member. Yeah.
That was it. Sorry, apologies.
Yeah.
That was. I sent you a question mark.
Andy.
Sorry, that's Andy having a bloody hell. Sorry. So I sent you a question mark. Did you explain what you meant by that?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
No.
Fair enough.
I love it. Cool. And if you wish to, you could head back to City Capoeira. I think everybody's heading back there, aren't they? Unless they're going off to do anything. I was going to do something with Hendrix going off to you, but he's gone now. Alas. Hopefully, maybe the beginning of the next one.
It's just a time thing, isn't it? 'Cause it's
it's getting late.
So
that might actually be a good point to leave it. I don't know if you feel.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking if you could all meet back at the same place, and then unless there's anything specific.
Just a quick question: can you put the name of the vampire group that you mentioned earlier in the chat?
Vision Serpents.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Yep. No worries. Go ahead, Ian.
It depends what the group's doing. If we're planning on heading out straight away, then fine. But I may risk a level of fatigue to write up one of those spell scrolls into my spell book, so I have the spell.
Okay. Yeah.
It's two
I would
hours
say
per level
if-
and 50 gold per level or something.
something like that. We can, if you want, think about it until the next game because we won't. I'm not going to skip us forward overnight.
Yeah, okay.
I'll let you guys convene again.
So what we're going to do. Yeah,
Let's
fair enough.
just say for convenience, you all arrive back at City Capoeira and we'll start there at the next game. Does that sound good?
Brilliant.
Yep. And we've had a chance to catch up and stuff like that and share information. Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to catch up so that it becomes like a brief conversation at the beginning of this next session, you can do. Happy for that to happen.
We should really do the whole thing with Hendrix before we have that conversation. Then
Yeah,
you said you wanted to do something with him. Yeah.
I'll just say it's a bit wafty. He may or may not have joined you going back to City Capoeira, and I can do him a scene if that's the case.
Okay.
It might not be.
Let's discuss further on Discord.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you very much for joining us. Hope to see you next time for episode 28. Things are starting to get spicy.
They most certainly are.
Yeah. See you then.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey.
Bye.